Hello students, we are to continue with the chapter Our Environment. Let us first refer to activity 15.4. Here we have to give an example for a simple aquatic food chain. Let us discuss that. Starting from the first trophic level occupied by the aquatic plants, followed by the second trophic level, that is small insects living in water, which are in turn eaten by fishes, which occupy the third trophic level. Now let us discuss food chains and food webs in detail. Food chains consist of many steps or levels. Each step or level is known as a trophic level. There are mostly 4 trophic levels. The first trophic level is occupied by the producers or green plants. The green plants prepare their own food utilizing solar energy. The second trophic level is occupied by herbivores, which depend on plants. They are also known as primary consumers. The third trophic level is occupied by small carnivores or secondary consumers, while the fourth trophic level is occupied by tertiary consumers or top carnivores. Thus the 4 trophic levels we have discussed. Now, there is a constant interaction between the components in an environment, and there is a flow of energy from one component to another in the environment. Green plants, they take up solar energy and convert it to chemical energy. And this chemical energy is used for varied activities in the world. Green plants, they take in nearly 1% of the solar energy that falls on their leaves. And this solar energy is converted to chemical energy or food energy. Herbivores feed on plants. A lot of energy is lost to the environment. Not only that, some energy is also lost in the process of digestion. Therefore, 10% of the total food available to that organism and also to the next level of consumers. Therefore, we can rightly say 10% of the energy present in the organic matter that is available for a consumer and also the next trophic level of consumers. Thus, by the time it reaches the 4th trophic level, very little usable form of energy is left. Therefore, food chains are usually of 3 to 4 steps, or food chains are limited to 3 to 4 steps. Producers, they occupy the lowermost level, or they are the ones which occupy the first trophic level. Their number is the largest compared to the organisms which occupy the other trophic levels. This is because they are the producers and they produce their own food. All other organisms occupying the various trophic levels cannot prepare their own food. They depend on other organisms or plants for food. Now, the complexity and the length of food chains vary greatly. Let us see the difference between food chains and food webs. Food chains are usually represented in a single line, while food webs are a series of branching lines. Food chains are theoretical, but food webs are present in nature. In a food chain, one organism is in turn eaten by another one organism, or only one organism. But in a food web, one organism can be eaten by two or more other organisms. Thus, we have discussed the differences between a food chain and a food web. Now let us look into the energy flow diagram. Energy is obtained from sun, or solar energy is taken up by plants. Plants are eaten by herbivores. Herbivores are eaten by carnivores, and carnivores in turn may be eaten by top carnivores. So the energy flow is from sun to the top carnivores. It happens only in one direction, or energy flow is unidirectional. Not only this, a very important point to note is that as we go higher up the trophic levels, the energy that is available to each trophic level becomes lesser and lesser. So, by the time we reach the topmost trophic level, the amount of energy available is the least. Let us take a simple example. Suppose 10,000 joules of energy is available to green plants. Then, how much energy will be available to herbivores? It is 1000 joules. Then, to the carnivores, it will be 100 joules. And for the top carnivores, it will be 10 joules. Therefore, we can rightly say that as we go higher up, the energy that is available becomes lesser and lesser. This is the first conclusion we come to from the energy flow diagram. Once again, the first conclusion is that energy flow is unidirectional, and energy as we go higher up the trophic level become lesser and lesser. We know that we grow crops for increasing productivity. We use modern techniques and methods. And as a part of Green Revolution, to increase the productivity, we have been using pesticides, insecticides, chemicals, etc. But these pesticides, chemicals, insecticides, etc. get incorporated into the plant body. This, once it is incorporated, it cannot be removed just by washing or like that. When these plants or fruits or vegetables which have pesticides in them are eaten by herbivores, this amount of chemical is doubled as it, or becomes the accumulation of chemicals in the next level is even more. Herbivores are eaten by carnivores. So again, the amount of chemical that will be deposited will be more in the body of the carnivores. Finally, by the time it reaches man, the amount of chemical deposited in the body of human beings is maximum because human beings occupy the topmost trophic level. This phenomena of accumulation of chemicals becoming more and more as we go higher up the trophic level is known as biological magnification. Man is most affected by this phenomena because he occupies the topmost level, and maximum amount of these pesticides, insecticides and chemicals get deposited in his body. So we are more prone to deadly and dangerous diseases like cancer. Now let us discuss the various methods by which we can minimize the use of pesticides. Firstly, to buy organic vegetables or the vegetables which are found in the local market, which are grown locally. Second is washing fruits and vegetables thoroughly before use. Third, to have knowledge about which fruits and vegetables have more content of pesticides. Fourth is to have one's own kitchen garden. And the fifth is to use methods, that is non-toxic methods, to control insects and pests. If we follow these small steps, we can curtail the alarming phenomena of biological magnification. Thus, we can protect ourselves from deadly diseases like cancer and various types of allergy. So, to conclude, the two conclusions of energy flow diagram are: first, energy flow is unidirectional and the amount of energy as we go higher up the trophic level becomes lesser and lesser. And the second conclusion is biological phenomena, which means the amount of chemicals deposited in each trophic level as we go higher up becomes more and more. With this, we have finished today's session. Thank you.